Hello and welcome to the psychology course at Godalming College. First I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Hannah and I'm the head of the psychology team at Godalming College. I really hope that this short video will give you a real sense of what it is to study psychology at Godalming College and to really just highlight some of the benefits of choosing to study it here. So how can you access the psychology course at Godalming College? Well, firstly, you need to make sure that you've got a minimum of 5 GCSEs at grade 4 or above. And we require specifically the 4s in maths and English. And we also require 2 5s in science, in double science, or 1 or more of the separate sciences. And obviously biology is most typically related to the psychology content. So why do we ask for these minimum requirements? Well, psychology really builds on the foundational skills of English, maths and science that you've learned at school. From an English point of view, you have to have a really good understanding of how to comprehend complex explanations and to be able to convey them really clearly in your written work. From the mathematical point of view, you need to have a good understanding of basic mathematical skills and being able to analyse and interpret up to 8 statistical tests as part of the psychology course. And science is really important too, not just for the biological content that underpins some of our behaviours that we study, but also in terms of the scientific approach. You need to have an understanding of how science is conducted and designed and reported.
Hello, my name is Mafalda and I'm a lower 6th student. I do biology, chemistry and psychology, and my career path, hopefully, is being a neurosurgeon. I chose psychology because it's a subject that relates massively with my career choices and because I'm very interested and always have been. So the things I like about psychology are mainly the biopsychology parts, where we learn about the parts of the brain and how they're responsible for each one of your behaviours. And that's particularly very interesting to me because obviously what I want to do for a life is study brains physically. So that's amazing to me. Another thing I like about psychology is how amazing the department is, because I feel like because you're studying human behaviour, they have a lot of consideration about you and they kind of help you study and revise things the way they know it's going to be effective.
So who should choose to take psychology A-level? Well, firstly, you need to have a really good curiosity for what makes people tick. Why do people behave the way that they do? Secondly, you need to have an understanding of science, as I've previously mentioned, and an appreciation that there's lots of psychological research. You need to be able to use that research in an evidence-based way to inform your arguments. This isn't a subjective course that's asking about your opinion, it's about you utilising evidence to support explanations. And finally, you need to have a really critical and analytical mind. You shouldn't be taking the explanations at face value, you need to be able to evaluate them and consider how they compare to alternative explanations. So what does it combine well with? Well, psychology is a really versatile subject, so it combines well with lots of different courses here at Godalming. For example, some of our students choose to combine psychology alongside an arts-based course, for example, English or drama, because there are lots of psychological themes that appear in literature or the devising of characters in those other subject areas. Other subjects that combine well are things like PE or economics because of the data analysis or the similar content across the sports psychology elements. Finally, students who are considering perhaps a progression pathway in psychology often combine it with biology because it's important to have an additional science if you are considering a psychology-related degree. So what is psychology and how is it delivered at Godalming College? Well, psychology is the scientific study of the mind and behaviour. So note the word science there again. We deliver the A-level AQA specification, and this is a course that's 100% exam-based. All exams are taken at the end of the 2nd year. So in terms of the delivery, year 1 will start with the topic of approaches. This fundamental and foundational topic covers all the main perspectives in psychology and different ways of explaining behaviour. So, for example, perhaps our behaviour is a result of nurture. Maybe it's to do with the associations or the consequences that we've received that shape our behaviour. Or perhaps our behaviour is driven by the way that we interpret or process information to do with the cognitive approach and its themes. Or maybe our behaviour is more to do with our nature, our genes or our biology. Perhaps we're predetermined to behave in a particular way. So after studying approaches, we move on to biopsychology, and this gives us an opportunity to really delve into the biological processes that drive behaviour. For example, you'll look in detail at the nervous system, hormones and neurotransmitters, and how they influence our behaviour. We look at brain organisation, what parts of your brain are responsible for the different cognitive functions and skills. And we even look at biological rhythms and how they drive our behaviour, like sleep. So next we move on to psychopathology. Students really enjoy this topic area. They're looking at explaining and potential treatments for conditions like OCD, phobias and depression. After psychopathology, we move on to memory. We explore the different theories about how our memory works, and we discuss research investigating the reliability and the accuracy of our memory. Can we rely on the information given by eyewitnesses perhaps? We then move on to the attachment topic. This topic delves into the relationship between the infant and the caregiver and the importance of that early bond and how it impacts later development in terms of our emotional, social and cognitive skills. Finally, in year one, we studied the topic of social influence. This explores obedience and conformity and really asks big questions about why do people obey malevolent or evil requests, perhaps to inflict harm on somebody just because they're instructed to by somebody they perceive to be an authority figure. And what does this tell us about human nature? Alongside all of these year one topics, we study research methods. Now this is the science and maths component that we were discussing earlier. It involves studying the different methods that psychologists can use to conduct research and all the different techniques of analysing data so that we can draw conclusions about what causes human behaviour. This is the largest topic across the whole of the course. It comprises about 30% of the overall A-level, and as such it's taught all the way through year one and across year two. In the second year, we cover the compulsory unit of issues and debates alongside our chosen options of gender, schizophrenia and aggression. So what are lessons like, and how is the 50-50 approach applied in psychology? Well, lessons involve a variety of activities. Some of the content will be teacher-led. You'll have lots of class discussions. There will be opportunities for group work where perhaps you're exploring or presenting an explanation, or perhaps even using your knowledge of psychology content to try and solve problems. Teachers work really closely with the students to support their skills and knowledge within the lessons, and student satisfaction surveys often comment upon how supportive the staff are in the department. In terms of the 50-50 approach in psychology, we operate a prep and consolidation approach. So what that means is that each week you'll be set a short prep task where you're asked to perhaps watch a video or research some terminology, and that preparation work will be used in the lesson and develop your knowledge of that particular material. At the end of the week, you'll be set a consolidation task. This might be something like summary notes or perhaps some exam practice questions to really ensure that you're reviewing and retaining all of your knowledge. Formal assessments within the psychology course are completed in line with the college benchmark approach, but you'll also get lots of additional support with exam skills and exam practice questions within your lessons. So what makes the psychology course at Godalming so good? So firstly, the support of your teachers is a key strength of our department. All of the teachers are experienced and specialist in their field with psychology-related degrees. Many of them have worked in psychology-related fields as well, for example, psychiatric nursing, counselling, domestic abuse centres and support centres, and human resources. As a result, you've got really knowledgeable staff supporting your understanding with real-life applied understanding of how psychology is used in practice. This means your teachers are really enthusiastic and knowledgeable about their topic area, and as a result are really well placed to support students who are considering a psychology-related progression route. Secondly, the amazing success results we have from the department. In a typical year, 2/3 of students are achieving A star to B grades. And we have really high value added. What that means is that students who attend Godalming College and study psychology here are meeting or exceeding their expected grades. Furthermore, due to the staff's experience and high levels of support, students across all range of abilities and all different learning needs are really well catered for and are all really successful. Finally, another key strength of choosing Godalming to study psychology is our enrichment and support for progression. We're really passionate about the course and offer a wide range of opportunities for you to explore psychology beyond the A-level specification. For example, we run a brain day. We have guest speakers from fields like clinical psychology and educational psychology. We take students on trips to conferences and to Bethlehem Museum to really ensure that they are able to apply their psychology knowledge beyond the specification.
About a week ago, I took part in an activity called the Brain Day. Dr. Guy Sutton came over to the college and he talked to us about the psychology part of the brain. We dissected a sheep's brain while he showed us through the anatomy of it and the structures that we already knew from the lessons. And he was talking to us about criminal psychology and now how climate change is affecting our behaviours, because yes, climate change has a massive effect on our brain's anatomy. Psychology department, they always kind of try to involve you in these activities, and to me it was an amazing opportunity to meet him because he kind of has a profession that I want to do. So it was super interesting and we all loved it a lot.
In addition, we also run regular workshops, boost sessions both online and face-to-face, and we also deliver enrichment programme courses, including the Psychology in Action course and Understanding Addiction. All of this together really helps students to gather a really good sense of what it is to undertake psychology and to apply that knowledge. And that can really support students in advancing their psychology studies beyond the A-level course. Approximately 30% of our students go on to study some kind of psychology-related programme. Thank you so much for watching our short video, and I hope it's really given you a good understanding of what psychology is like at Godalming College. Hope it's sparked your interest, and we really look forward to meeting you at one of our open evenings or perhaps at enrolment next year.